Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Katie, and for those of you that don't know me, I am a diamond leader with World Technology Corporation, and I am here tonight with my mother-in-law Lois and my father-in-law Daryl, and we are here to share with you guys a little bit about what's something that's pretty near and dear to our hearts and our families. So I am going to start with, hi Nate, hi Sarah. I'm going to start with our product disclosure because before we tell you our story, I need you guys to know that what we're going to talk about tonight is not something that is a medical device, and it is called the Helo LX. So I'm just going to read this real quick to you guys. It's just a product disclaimer because I need you guys truly to know that this is not a medical device. It is just a health monitor, and it does everything from the inside out of your body. So the use of the Helo LX and its accessories are intended for personal use only and are not to be intended to be used to diagnose or treat any diseases, okay? There is a huge product disclaimer, and the whole thing can be found at worldgn.com if you want to see our entire product. But for those of you that do not know, I started with a company, World Technology Corporation, in April of this year, and it was solely because of a product, and it's this little guy right here. And I wanted to share with you guys my mother and father because of what they've experienced through this incredible product and what it has done for them and what this means to them. So, okay, Mom. I'm going to have them start with a little bit of their story and where this began in April. So where do we begin?
Daryl suddenly had a stroke unexpectedly. Had no health issues at all. He was in good condition. He had a stroke with a bleed, which is extremely serious. So he was taken by ambulance to the hospital. He was in the hospital incredibly only 3 days and came home. And in the recovery, neither of us had ever experienced anything like this, a serious medical condition where we had to deal with new medications and schedules and monitoring our health and everything. And when I talked to Katie, she talked about this new device that she had that would help to read our blood pressure and things like that. So she was anxious to help Daryl in his recovery. It took some time before she had one available for us, but we were working with a regular blood pressure cuff, taking his blood pressure real regularly, and sometimes it would seem to be pretty accurate and other times it would seem to be kind of crazy, and we didn't know if that was something happening to him or if it was something with the device. So we were kind of unsure of that, and we were working with it. It was really stressful to the point where I wound up in the emergency room overly stressed with acid reflux and feeling like I had chest pains that they checked out and everything. And then he got stressed because I was stressed, and he was in the emergency room. His blood pressure shot up, and we were going back and forth with these things, and it was really stressful through all these beginning months. That happened in the middle of April. Mm-hmm. In July, over the 4th of July, Katie came with a band and got it on Daryl, and it didn't take too long before I noticed that it was lowering the stress because we were getting regular readings of his blood pressure. And at first we compared them to the cuff, and the cuff was still kind of erratic, but the Helo was consistent. We could see where if he was getting overtired or something, maybe his reading would be a little bit higher, but then when he rested it would settle again. Overall, it was just kind of giving us more peace of mind in a real short period of time. Just the consistency of it was so much better than dealing with the cuff and not knowing if it was actually correct. We did mention it to our doctor when we saw a doctor a few weeks before we got it. We said we're going to have this device on pretty soon, and we're kind of interested to see how that works. And our doctor happened to be kind of interested in it as well. We haven't been back to her since because we haven't needed to. But there again, the band kind of contributes to that because we know what's going on. When we do go back to her, we can tell her that the blood pressure has been working like it should be. The medication is doing what it should be doing, and he's recovering really well. And more than everything, it gave us the information we needed to take control of our situation and understand that we were going to go step by step through this, and we had something to follow along with us that we could refer to whenever we needed to.
So when I remember when Daryl first came home and he was going through his stuff, and he'd be like, oh, she just isn't going to leave me alone. She's not going to want to go get groceries. She doesn't want to run errands. No matter where I go, she wants to be right there with me. And I said, Daryl, and I said, the coolest thing about this band is there's a guardian feature. And I said, so when I get it, and I get it on you, she'll be able to go and run errands, and she'll be able to see how you're doing away from you, and if your heart rate or your breath rate or your blood pressure drops so incredibly low, she'll get an alert, and so then she'll know that she needs to call you and check on you. And so he's like, so she'll leave me alone for a few minutes. And so that was kind of our running joke. And when we got to the lake in July, I said, okay, I have bands, but my team was growing so incredibly fast that I had asked Lois, actually, I said, can I put a band on Daryl first, and we'll check it out with him and see how it goes. And then once I get more bands, my teammates are dying for these bands. And I said they really want to get their businesses underway, and they're super excited to try them. But at the time when we started, we were in a pre-launch. So it took us 7 to 8 weeks to get our bands. And so it was really hard. Not only did I have to wait to get mine to put them on, the reason why I truly started with this company, and then to ask her to wait. And she was so gracious and obliged and said, okay, Katie, I see how important this is to you. And as long as we have one on Daryl, that's what's most important. And so we did. We got one on Daryl first, and she was able to see and watch and have that peace of mind, which was truly incredible. And then what was it, maybe like a month or two later?
Yeah, about that.
About 2 months later, Ryan and I actually purchased another real estate position and got more bands because we didn't have enough to help with our team and our family members. And so then Lois got hers, and now they're able to watch each other and check on each other. And it's a huge deal. I'm forever grateful for our helos. Every time I ask Lois, I'm like, okay, how's it going? How is the blood pressure doing? And she always has like these incredible stories. And so I asked her when they were here yesterday, I'm like, will you guys go live with me? Will you do an interview, and will you share with people how it is for you guys rather than hearing it from me? So you guys, this is truly coming from a consumer and someone who just uses it on a daily basis because they need it. I use it because I love it, and my husband can see how I'm doing and I can see how he's doing. But I just wanted you guys to hear it from them. Daryl, how do you feel? What do you think about your Helo?
Well, I like it because it's a tool. It's like it monitors, and I can track the progress of not just blood pressure, but mood, or with strokes, there's anxiety, there's depression. So there's other things to work with too. So yeah, it's good. It's good to monitor all that stuff. It doesn't fix anything. But it monitors, so that if I have questions for the doctor, I can go and I can ask. I can be informed.
Absolutely.
And then when I see her, I can ask questions, and she can say, well, we should do this, or we should do that, or whatever.
Right. So do you guys use your weekly or monthly reports? Do you ever pull that up on your Hika apps? You can see how he's doing throughout the month, or how throughout the week, or even throughout the day.
Yep. It's all charted there. It's easy to read, and you can see what's going on. And it's good to have little snippets and bigger ones and big ones, and that kind of gives you information just when you see different kinds of increments, how it's going. Because if it's going real good in little bits, you maybe want to know how far back has it been good. Is there a time span since we had a little episode or something like that? And you're checking those kind of things all the time.
Right.
Yeah. When he was first in his recovery and we started walking, He could only walk like about a block and then sleep for 2 hours. So one of the things, when we got to the point where we got the bands on, we were already starting to take good walks, but then we could see how far we'd walked. And then we could see, okay, we walked this far yesterday, let's go this far today. And we could keep track. And just that thing alone was like our first medical assistant device that we had. I know it's not logically, but it's not legally.
Right.
But for us, it worked as that first incremental tool to help us just exercise to get better. So it's done a lot for us.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Like, I just really want you guys to know how honored, I mean, just to have, like, I just can't imagine not having them in my life. It was a really scary day for all of us. And again, it's not a medical device, but it truly, truly does give you an insight as to what's happening from the inside. And I think that for us, that is, I mean, worth millions of dollars. You know, people will say, oh, you've paid $300 for this device. And I'm like, $300 to know how my father-in-law is doing down in Florida? So, like, I can be his guardian, and I can see how he's doing. And so, and I think, like, just that in and of itself, and to know that they're okay when they're away from us 6 months, to get that call is the scariest thing in the world. But at the same time, getting the call that, okay, we're monitoring and we're watching each other and we're taking care of each other is way better than the call that it's too late, right? I mean, we are forever grateful that they made this device and that we launched it this year, and it came in the time that it needed to.
Yeah.
Be careful what you pray for in life, because I was really praying for a reason to figure out if this was going to be the right path or not. And when I got the call, I knew that there was just no way. Whether or not it was about the business or not, I knew everyone that I cared about the most in my life had to have one of these on them. You better believe, between my in-laws and my parents and myself and my husband, it's not about the business, it's not about the company, it's about the people that I love the most, that truly, I don't know where I'd be without them. So, yes, I just asked them if they would share as a consumer and really what they love most about it. And so, thank you.
One other point.
Yes.
We were skeptics at the beginning. But
right.
There's no question that it's a good tool to have.
What did you think when I first said, Lois, there's a device that will do his blood pressure all day long? Like, what were you like, really?
Well, yeah, I was kind of like, how would that work? I don't know.
Right, and for how long did you test the device versus the blood pressure cuff? How long do you think that you did it?
Oh, probably 6 weeks or so that we monitored pretty closely to see, and we finally put away the cuff. The band was better. It was more consistent, more information overall, where we could look back and analyze what was going on.
And so I think it's cool to me because we're almost coming up on, 9 months now, when we first ever talked about this, and how skeptical we all were, like extremely skeptical, right?
Yeah.
And now I think about now launching into the next for non-invasive blood glucose. I think that people are now coming in with that skepticism and thinking like, oh, is this really going to be able to do what it says it's going to do? That's how we were 9 months ago with the blood pressure.
I'm on board with that. My mother had diabetes. My oldest brother has diabetes. My grandfather on my mother's side had diabetes. My grandmother on my dad's side had diabetes.
So you're saying my husband's going to have diabetes?
Well, I hope not.
But it is. It's a lot of hereditary stuff happening within the family. And if you could see on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis what's happening from the inside out, like we all can, why not have that? Why not just have that, whether you're healthy or not? We're watching people, they say in the holidays, the highest rates of heart attacks and people dying is over the holiday season. It truly is. And there's so many news articles, and you see people posting on Facebook all the time, or even on Good Morning America and the Today Show. They're talking about how stressful the holidays are. And I think that if people could see, I watch mine go up.
Yeah.
I watch mine, and all of a sudden it'll be like, you're anxious. I'm like, okay, time to relax and not stress so much and try to enjoy the holidays. All the families coming, everyone gets like that anxious, like you want it to be perfect and you want to prepare and you want to. Well, it tells us like how hard and anxious it is and how, exhausting you really are. Because when you're go, and you're celebrating and having so much fun and doing all this stuff, it does tell you, like, really does keep track of you and how you're really doing. So Daryl's really good about going to bed. Lois and I, we're up all night together planning to take over the world. No.
Yeah.
Because we are the night owls. But it tells us. And so for Daryl, he's very good. And he listens to his advice and he watches his app and he's so good. And he's like, okay. He said, I'm tired now. It's time to go. And he's really good about being in tune and listening to his body. And I don't know, were you like that before the last 9 months?
Well, he's a sleeper.
He's a sleeper. That's where my husband gets it from, right? Yeah, they are sleepers. If they could just crash, they would, right? So I think it just gives us some really great insight. And so every time I would ask, Lois, like, will you guys be together as much as we possibly can as a family? Oh, Kinsey. Hi, Kinsey. Hi, Wanda.
Hi,
Kinsey
Kim.
says
Hi,
hello. And so I was talking with Lois and I said, how is your Helo? Are you still watching it? Is it still on point? Are you still taking your measurements and doing all your stuff? And she's like, this, and what did you say to me? Do you remember what you said? Yesterday, I know she has such great stories, but yesterday she said, it really has helped us anxiety-wise and helping us just come to like a calm place of knowing.
Yeah, it was really what we needed in that adjustment to, like I started out saying, neither of us had had a medical situation like this
Ever.
before.
We had just left spring break and being with them for 10 days.
Yeah.
We probably gave him the heart attack, the stroke. We probably caused it. No, but we had just left and we had no indication. He walked the parks. Yeah. We had great dinners and drinks. Everything was great. We just really, we had no indication. Yeah, and it was less than a week later we got the call. And it was like our lives had forever changed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So we just wanted to share with you guys. Thank you all for coming on tonight and for being a part of this.
All those hearts and stuff.
It's all the people that are on that are loving your story.
That's
and
amazing.
As you talk, they can like it, and then they can make comments. Okay, everyone say hi. Drop a 1 if you're watching this live, so that way they can see. This is their first live. Welcome to Facebook, right? So drop a 1 so they can see.
Crazy.
And if you're watching the replay on this, please drop a 2 so I can see who's coming back to watch this. Hi, Carol. Oh, Kinsey, we love you too, sweetheart. Carol, hi, Lisa. Hi, honey. Oh, John. Thank you for watching, John. Thank you for watching, Carol. Hi, Bjorn. I hope your surgery went good today, buddy. Tiff, hi. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Amy. Oh, cool, right?
That's weird.
Oh, there's Christy Holt. You know Christy?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Christy.
Yeah, so hi Wendy, hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. Okay, so we are signing off, but we just really wanted you guys to meet RY and the incredible people that are in our lives and taking care of us. Hi Kelly, hi Bianca, thank you everyone. So yes, we truly appreciate it, and to my mother and father-in-law for truly being my guinea pigs in all this and giving me just an honest evaluation of what this really, really, really can do for you, and allowing me to have the understanding that we can change lives with this, and for allowing me to continue to be strong in my endeavors, because without them and seeing them and having that affirmation that there's people out there that really truly need this, like I said, I feel healthy enough that I don't need the Helo, but guess what? You just never know. So thank you. I love you guys.
Love you too.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, I think it's a great tool, and it is a peace of mind that a person gets when you can monitor things every day. You see your doctor once a year or twice a year or whatever, and they do the best that they can work with, but they only have a limited amount of time, and to monitor these things every day, it's just a good idea.
So how do you think, sorry, I know you're saying goodbye, but I do have to ask, because starting January 1st now, medical companies are going to be able to be, reimbursed through Medicare and Medicaid and Blue Cross Blue Shield and all this stuff. What do you think that that's going to do for that world of doctors having to be able to have all this knowledge?
Well, it even tells you how you are when you're sleeping. So if your blood pressure spikes while you're sleeping, you're going to know it's doing that.
Yeah.
All that stuff, all that information is there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a huge deal, and
Oh, yeah.
it's just going to be bigger and better. The wearable tech world is truly going to go by leaps and bounds, and we're just in this at the beginning. So this little guy, it's just the beginning. It's just going to get bigger and better, and we are very, very fortunate that there's a lot of people out there that have it. So thank you. I love you guys.
Love
All
you
right.
too.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Thank you for staying on. We know it's late. Mwah. Love you. Have a great night.